Welcome back to the Functional Longevity Podcast, where we give you insight on how to get fit, feel younger, and live better. My name is Chris Porter, best-selling author and owner of Y.E.S Fitness. And first, I'd like to take a minute to just thank you for taking time from your busy day to listen to what I have to say. I hope today's information you find helpful. I think you're going to find it interesting. It's something that you can actually put to use tonight or tomorrow morning. So before we get started, let me thank our sponsor, Y.E.S Fitness. Most people lose the ability to enjoy life as they age. At Y.E.S Fitness, we help people 40 plus get fit so they can live longer and enjoy those extra years doing the things that they love to do. A little bit of housekeeping here. If you would like to get a transcript or a timestamp of today's broadcast, you can head over to yesfitnessct.com, click on the podcast button, and give you access to my 270 podcasts or broadcasts. And you can also get this wherever podcasts can be found. And we're wrapping up 2023 pretty soon here. This is our 25th year in business, so we have been running a special $25 for 25 days. So if you've ever wondered why we're so successful down here, or interested in working with a trainer, or maybe working with a trainer you're not getting any results, you can check us out for $25. You will get our premium coaching, sort of like a VIP, for $25. If it goes to the end of those $25, we have not put you any closer to your goal, I'd be more than happy to give you those $25 back. Where all our programs are 100% guaranteed. So that's how confident I am of what we do down here. And we've been doing it for over 25 years now. Want the most effective tactic for superior health and performance? Sleep is the only true fix-all for health and performance. The most important area is the role sleep has in facilitating optimal level of waking function. These are the brilliant words of Brandon Marcello. And it is possible that a lack of sleep or poor quality sleep could be negatively affecting your health and performance. Fatigue has caused many catastrophes. Studies show that large deficiencies in sleep changes the activity in some parts of our brain. And if you are sleep deficient, you may have trouble making decisions, solving problems, controlling your emotions, behaviors, and coping with change. Sleep deficiency has been linked to depression, suicide, and risk of taking behavior. You're more susceptible to anxiety, sickness, irritability, and mistakes. Some of those huge disasters are 3 Mile Island, the Challenger shuttle, Exxon oil disaster. All these things have been related back to sleep deprivation. So we can see how important it is. And we think every day just about how we hear people fall asleep at this wheel at a car accident and kill themselves or kill someone, an innocent bystander. So sleep is super important. And we're going to give you something today that hopefully will help you sleep a little better and start your day a little better. So during sleep, the brain bathes itself with cerebral spinal fluid to get rid of waste products. It's kind of the housekeeping that goes on for our body, for the brain, and it only happens while we're sleeping. And the brain also cleans out toxic proteins, which can impair healthy aging of the brain. And these toxins will cause related illnesses like Alzheimer's. So we've heard many of the just typical things when we go to bed and things like that. I'm going to review a few of them, and then I'm going to give you a little small exercise routine to help you bring your body down to where it's ready to go to sleep, and in the morning to bring it back up. So actually your sleep routine, we need to create a sleep routine that you do every single day. You need to go to bed at the same time. You need to get up at the same time. That's concluding in the weekends. My wife says to me all the time, why do you get up at 5 or 5:30 on Saturday and Sunday morning? Why don't you just sleep in? I'm so used to, after 25, 30 years of getting up at that hour, that's when my body wakes up. And when I can keep in that cycle, I find myself to have more energy throughout the day, sharper, and all the things that go along with having a good night's sleep. So your sleep routine should actually start about 10 hours before you go to bed. And the first thing to note is 10 hours before you go to bed, stop having caffeine. No caffeine after that 10 hours, within that 10-hour frame. So if you're going to bed at 10 o'clock at night, noon is the last time you can have caffeine. So if you're getting tired in the afternoon, it's not because of the food that you ate. It's because you have some sleep debt the previous night or 2 nights, whatever it might be. You didn't get enough sleep. So that's sleep debt. And your body wants to make up for that. It makes you sleepy, tired, and makes you want to go to sleep. Even if you're getting a little older like myself and you might want to feel like I need to fall asleep at 3 o'clock, 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock, or I hear that from my friends sometimes, it's not because of what they ate. It's not because they're older. It's because of sleep debt. Now I'm not saying there's anything wrong with naps, because naps are good. And the notion of you need to get 8 hours of sleep, that's a little bit of a myth, because anywhere between 7 and 9 hours is pretty much the norm for most people. There are some outliers, but most people need 7 to 9 hours of sleep. So start thinking about that. No caffeine in the afternoon. If you're getting sleepy and tired, you need to get up and move it. You need to make sure you're getting enough sleep the previous nights. 3 hours before you go to bed. So if you're going to bed at 10, 7 o'clock, at 7 o'clock, no more food, and especially no more drinks and no more alcohol. Another myth, alcohol does not help you sleep. So do not think about, hey, I'm going to have a drink so that I can relax and go to bed. Alcohol does not help you sleep better. So 3 hours before you go to bed, no food or alcohol. 2 hours before you get to bed, you need to think about stopping work. So if you're a workaholic, you got stuff to do for work, whatever it might be, 2 hours before you go to bed, I'm going to bed at 10, 8 o'clock, no more work. Now, the critical time, here's 1 hour before you go to sleep. And we've heard this many times. So many things you may have heard before, that you want to get off the screens, off the phones, off the computers, off the television, all that kind of stuff. And in that last hour, you want to make sure there's no bright lights. So you might want to get these things that are called good night lights. And they block out or have light with no blue light. And the blue light is what suppresses the creation of melatonin, and melatonin will help us get to sleep at night. So you want to have some blue lights or very dim lights. And during that last hour, you might do some things that bring the mind and the body down, your heart rate down a little bit. So maybe a nice warm bath, or read a book, talk to a friend, journal, meditate, all these kind of things you should do coming up to that last hour of the evening. Just let the mind relax. Try not to get it. You got to take it down from all the day's activities. So a couple of things to think about. On top of that, as we begin to develop our routine, we want to make sure that the bedroom is about 76 degrees. We want the bedroom to be cool when you go to bed at night. You want it to be completely dark in your room. If you have a night light, or I should say an alarm clock, you want to make sure it's turned around so that LED light's not keeping you awake. And I would turn it around too, because you don't want to wake up at night and look at the clock and say, oh my gosh, it's 3 o'clock, I can't get up. And then next thing you know, it's 3:15, 3:30. We've all done that before, right? Phones should be out of the room. So you're not distracted, so you're not tempted, okay? If for some reason you feel like you need to have your phone in your room in case of an emergency, have the phone on the other side of the room. So you can't touch it, so you have to actually get up out of bed and go to use that. If you're insisting upon using your phone for an alarm clock, make sure it's on the other side of the room. So you have to get up out of bed to shut off the alarm. All these things should be a part of your sleeping process. You might want to have a little bit of white noise in the background, maybe a fan, something like that, to drown out any other noise that might be going on. So the body is relaxed and ready to go to sleep. And if you do the same thing night in and night out, the body gets this routine, and you will actually sleep a little bit better. But also in that last 1 hour of the day, you can do this little routine that I've developed over time, that I give my clients to just help them bring their heart rate down, bring their blood pressure down, and really prepare them for sleep. So I'm going to go through that routine with you right now, and understand that we're going to do some exercises on one side of the body. You're going to have to go ahead and do them on the other side of the body. I'm only going to demonstrate one side of the body. And this routine may take 10 minutes. It should not take that long to do, especially once you learn how to do it. But I want you to think about relaxing. I want you to just get into this rhythm when you do this so that your body just does these things. And when you're all set and done, you're ready to just put your head down on the pillow and go to sleep. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to do what we call 4-7-8 breathing. And this has been shown in research to help decrease blood pressure, which is always a concern. We want to make sure our blood pressure is down and under control. And it helps bring the heart rate down, so it really helps us prepare for sleep. So I'm going to do this lying on my back. So we're just going to relax with our knees bent. We're going to take a nice deep breath in. First, we're going to exhale. Then we're going to take a nice deep breath in. It's going to take 4 seconds. Then we're going to hold it for 7 seconds. Then you're going to exhale for 8 seconds. We're going to do 2 cycles right now. You're going to want to do 5 cycles in total. 1 cycle, I'm just going to demonstrate. The second cycle, I'm going to actually count it out. So here I go. Exhale. Again. So inhale. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Exhale through your mouth. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We do 2 more cycles of that, so a total of 5 cycles. From there, we're going to lie onto your right side. You're going to make sure that your knees are at least the height of your hip or higher, meaning that you don't want to be down here like this. You want to be at 90 degrees here or up nice and high. We're going to take our hands, just going to do a sideline horizontal reach. We're just going to exhale, push this hand to the ceiling, and try to get this back shoulder towards the ground. Nice and easy. And come on back to the start position. Exhale. Come on back. Each time you want to exhale and just try to relax and sink into it. Again, very important that those knees are at least at 90 degrees or higher so that we get the rotation in the T-spine and the thoracic spine, not in the lumbar spine. The lumbar spine is not designed to twist. It's designed to twist a total of 13 degrees. That's 2 degrees. So make sure that you have that to help prevent injury. Then we're going to lie onto our backs. We're just going to do some floor slides. So we're going to take a deep breath. Exhale. Just slide our arms way up over our head. We're trying to get our forearms to slide right on the ground. It's just the ground was sandpaper, and it's sandpaper the little hairs off the back of your arm. So here we go. Exhale, nice and long. Inhale. Exhale. And inhale as you bring it back down. And we're doing 5 cycles of everything. So you do that 5 times. So you have 4-7-8 breathing, your sideline reach, 5 on each side, 5 forearm floor slides. We're going to roll over. And we'll sit back on our heels. I'm going to show you. We're just going to sit back like this as if you were in a child's pose. But instead of being in a child's pose, we're going to take our hands and we're going to walk them all the way to the side. And we're going to push a little attitude with our hip here. Just exhale and just sink into that. Inhale and then exhale again. You can exhale 5 times. You get a nice stretch all the way down the outside of the body into our glutes. So you can do 5 breaths on this side. Don't go fast. Nice and relaxed. And then 5 breaths on the other side. So we work on the hips a little bit. So we want to make sure that the joints that are supposed to move well. So we want to make sure our hips move well, our T-spine move well. So we're going to come in, we call a frog stretch. So my knees, you can see, are nice and wide. My feet are almost straight, like this, so I'm not in close here. I'm straight back. I don't know if you can see that or not. It'll be a little bit challenging to see that, but you'll notice it better. So I'm going to just sit back, exhale, just rock back into that, get a little stretch on my inner thighs. And as I rock forward, I'm going to internally rotate or bring my foot out. I'm going to come on back again, relax, go to the other side. That counts as one. So it's in, stretch, in. You go 5 on each side. So we were here. Now we're coming in here for a frog stretch. The frog stretch, we're going to go into what we call a prone figure 4. So I'm going to do this from the side. So I'm going to slide my left leg back. My right foot's going to come across the front, and I'm just going to sink down into this. I think they might call this a pigeon in yoga. So from here, we're just going to gently exhale and bring our chest up. I don't want you to arch your back too much. Keep your head in a neutral position. And then come on back down. Exhale. Each time you come up, we're going to sink a little bit more into that hip because really trying to stretch the hip. Just get a little bit of back extension. I'm going to do 5 on one side and 5 on the other. Now, I told you in the beginning that we're going to do this in the morning and in the evening. In the mornings, I would prefer that you don't press up too far because your lumbar spine or your spine, all that discs have a lot of fluid in them. So it makes them very tight, okay? So we start to move the back around. It's not healthy for the back. So imagine you have those vertebrae, there's a disc in there, but it's really full, and we're trying to squish it there. It's just squishing that disc. It takes about half an hour or so for that fluid to come out. So if you come out of bed and you do this right away, don't press up and arch your back a whole lot, okay? Just come up to more of a neutral position. If you've been up for about a half an hour, you're welcome to exhale and just arch your back gently to help with some of the discs, sucking them back in. So when we're done with that, we call prone figure 4. We're going to do a hip flexor stretch. So we're going to come onto one knee. This back toe is going to be tucked under like this. So that makes, when you dig that into the ground, it's going to make your backside nice and tight here. You're just going to exhale and come forward nice and easy. You're just going to hold this and then relax back. Exhale. You want to feel a stretch in here. So you don't want to be arching the back. We're not going way forward. If your backside's nice and tight, we just feel a little bit of stretch right in here. Stretch those hip flexors. Again, the hips, we need to make sure the hips are moving okay. We sit all day long, those muscles get nice and tight. We'll finish that back up with our 4-7-8 breathing. And while we're breathing, I want you to just think about how you feel and how relaxed you feel so that you're ready to go to bed. Just a quick review. 4-7-8 breathing, 5 cycles. Exhale, inhale for 4 seconds, hold it for 7, and then let it out nice and easy for 8. Relax. This is to help the body relax. From there, you can do sideline horizontal reach, 5 times on each side. Then you do the 5 form floor slides, 5 on each side. Pardon me, 5 together. Then we come over and we get into a little stretch for our lats, side to side in a prone 4 position, sitting back like a child's pose. We come up into our frog series where the leg kicks out, 5 on each side. We go to our prone figure 4 to stretch those glutes a little bit. Again, a little bit of press up with an exhale. Always just trying to relax, sink into the positions. We're not here to cause a lot of discomfort. We're here to just relax. We do our hip flexor stretch and some 4-7-8 breathing. So there you have it. Try this little routine. Don't try to expand on it. Don't try to do too much. Keep it simple so that it just becomes part. It becomes simple for you. You just flow through it here and there. Help yourself relax. Get the body prepared for sleep. And then you go after it again in the morning. You will definitely find yourself. You can leave comments at the bottom on this. You will find yourself that you will feel better in the morning. You will move better. You'll feel better. You can have more energy just by this little routine. And then at the end of the day, it's going to actually help you relax. And you're going to just feel very loose and just comfortable and ready to go to bed. If you have any questions, certainly get a hold of me. You can email me, call me, text me, stop by to say hello. Let me know how this works for you. And I will look again. I'll be back here again in a week, next Tuesday, to give you more information on how to get fit, feel younger, and live better. Happy sleeping.